Hello wonderful people, welcome back to Coffee Over Apples. My name is Steph and this is my 100 subscriber Q&A and giveaway. Woohoo!
I could change the world. On we go.
I posted on Twitter asking people for questions because I've always wanted to do a giveaway for when I hit 100 subscribers, and that's finally here, yay! At the time of filming this, I currently have, I believe, 102 subscribers. And I thought it would be fun to also make this a speed drawing video, so that's what we're doing. So I'm going to have my drawing video up here, and I'm going to be answering the questions in a smaller screen. So I think we're just going to jump right in. First question comes from Bree from Books Before Death. And please check out their channel if you haven't subscribed yet to their channel, because the two of them are super adorable. But Bree's asking, what's a book that had a huge impact on you and changed you in some? A book that had a huge impact on me, and I think I already told the story on my channel, that is definitely The Stand by Stephen King, because one, this was my first venture into adult literature, and I mean, I'll leave a link to my newbie booktuber tag video where I talk about the story of how my high school English teacher took away Twilight. This is my original copy that I've had for so many years. You can tell it's like, it's beat to crap, you guys. This copy is falling apart, but I still love it so much. In case you don't know what The Stand is about, it is about a pandemic. It is good versus evil. It is post-apocalyptic. I mean, there's supposed to be a TV show coming out for it, hopefully next year. Whoopi Goldberg is in it. I'm so excited. And then, so at the Bookish Nook is asking, my question to you is, who inspired you to start booktubing? That's a really good question. My very first booktuber who I followed regularly was Books and Lala. Not having enough people in my life to really talk to about a love of books and really wanting that community, so I realized that if I wanted to find more book friends, then Booktube was the perfect way to go, and that has been 100% true. Harshpreet from Harsh Herself is asking a couple questions here. She is asking, what is your favorite book in 2018? Okay, favorite book of 2018. 2018, I read one of my newest all-time favorite books, and that is Everything Matters by Ron Curry Jr., which I think I lent out, so I don't have a copy of it right now. But Everything Matters is the story of a boy who, the moment he's born, he knows that when he turns 36 years old that the world is going to end from a giant meteor, but he doesn't know how he knows it, and no one believes him. So it's kind of like, what do you do if you know exactly when you're going to die and how everyone else is going to die? How would you live your life if you knew exactly that the world was going to end? And I don't think this book is for everybody, but as someone who is in perpetually an existential crisis, this was right up my alley. Do you prefer ebooks or hardbacks? I definitely prefer hardbacks. Ebooks are difficult for me to read because my eyes are very sensitive. Like, even just recording, all the lights that are on right now make my eyes very sensitive, and usually I would wear glasses, but you can't really see with the glare. So the only time I read ebooks is if it's a very short book, like maybe 100 pages max, or if it's a manga. I don't have a problem reading manga because there's a lot of black and white contrast. The world was ending tomorrow, and I'm not making this decision very lightly. This is really hard. I think I might reread Hard-Boiled Wonderland and The End of the World by Haruki Murakami. So this book is very difficult to describe. It's a little bit fantastical. If you've ever read Haruki Murakami, his books are just freaking weird. His books are just very strange. It goes back and forth between the real world and this fantastical world, but then there's some sci-fi kind of elements to it. But overall, It is about these two worlds that kind of seem to overlap within this person's mind, and so they kind of don't know what's reality and what's not reality. And I think it's about finding what is important to you. All of my favorite books are about people knowing when they're gonna die. Oh my god, I am so cynical. Okay, so they know that something is happening to them and kind of just trying to get their priorities straight within life in order to create their own meaning. Again, another existential crisis. But I remember this book being dark and beautiful. Nana from Illustrated Pages wants me to show you my favorite art piece that I've ever made. Okay, so I don't actually own my art piece anymore, so I'm gonna insert a clip of it here because it was selected into a private collector's collection. And this was a piece that I made of part of a series where I was researching the ancestral background of various American presidents and then choosing flowers from the different countries where they originated from and recreating their presidential portraits, but the heads are the bouquet of flowers showing their ancestry. So my favorite one was the Theodore Roosevelt one because his ancestry was so vast, and I thought the bouquet was just so beautiful, and this ended up being selected by the collector from when I was doing my first artist residency at the Manga Contemporary Museum. So, and that was in 2018. I've created a lot of paintings since then. That one I feel was the most detail oriented and one that I'm super proud of. Okay, Sophia, hi Sophia from Fantasy Book Addict wants to know, how did you get into art? What's been the most unexpected part of joining Booktube, and why are you so talented? No, why are you so amazing? Stop! How did I get into art? Growing up and watching anime like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff, it just inspired me to keep drawing, even though I was already drawing with my family to pass the time. As like a family pastime, we would just doodle. But knowing that I could pursue a career into it, it just kind of skyrocketed from there. And then what's been the most unexpected part of joining Booktube? Oh my goodness. Okay. One, how quickly my platform is growing. I've only been on for 3 months and I've already got 100 subscribers, which I'm so grateful to you guys. And I think also like meeting people who really enjoy similar my first friend that I made after joining Twitter is my friend Vicky, and we have just kind of clicked over every single aspect of reading, and just like her and finding other like-minded readers was so invigorating for me after watching so much Booktube and kind of finding that I wasn't really enjoying some of the books that were more trending and popular titles, and that there are other communities like that out there. You just kind of gotta look for them. Okay, and then Vicky, hi Vicky. So Vicky's asking, what is your least favorite book per each genre of your most favorite genre? AKA those books that you thought would be a 4 or 5 star rating for you, but after you finish reading or not, turned out to be a disappointment. Okay, so I feel like there's not too many books that I've been disappointed in. And the first one might come as a shocker to some people, and I'm very sorry if you really like this book, I'm so sorry. But Children of Blood and Bone, I did not enjoy the writing style. I'm not even gonna get into it, but yeah, I really did not enjoy it. I thought I was enjoying it, and then as it went along, I just wasn't doing it. And then also, I love horror. Horror is one of my favorite genres, as you guys know, but Joe Hill, who is the son of Stephen King. So this makes absolutely no freaking sense because Stephen King is one of my favorite authors, and his son, I cannot stand his writing. I cannot. Every time I've tried to pick up a Joe Hill book, I have DNF'd it, and that was for a heart-shaped box. That was for The Fireman. I actually picked up The Fireman as a blind date with a book that they do at Barnes & Noble's, where these books are wrapped in this brown paper. And when I picked up one of these books, it was like for fans of Stephen King who love apocalyptic stories, and I was like, oh, that's me, I am that. And And then when I read it, I hated it. So yeah, no. So that's my least favorite horror movie. Anything that's by Joe Hill. I mean, I don't know, I might give him another try, but two out of 2 DNFs. Yeah, I'm sorry. As far as other genres, I mean, out of self-help, I guess it would be like The War of Art that I did a review on when I first started my channel, back when the quality of my videos were so poor. Okay, then Sarah from Travel Fiction. Hey Sarah. Sarah's asking, is there a book that changed the way you see things? If so, which book was it, and what did you see differently from reading it? Okay, so to answer that question, I'm gonna go with a self-help book, and that was You Are a Badass at Making Money, because there is a section and that the author asked people in surveys to write love letters to money, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious because it really talks about these kind of preconceived notions that we have about what money is and how money controls us, and that if we change our mindset about money, then it's kind of like you get what you put out. So if you put forward a positive attitude towards making money, then the action of what you need to do to make money in order to get money to do what makes you happy is not so undesirable. From one of the money love letters. But it says, Dear Money, I feel confident and secure when you're here, and I like to spend you when you're around. I feel generous to others, but sometimes you leave without saying goodbye. You're like a lover who comes and goes on a whim, and yet I always want you back. It makes me feel resentful and frustrated. I get so scared when you go because I'm afraid you'll never come back. It makes me feel bad about myself. Why can't we just enjoy being together? Dear Money, I love you and I'm scared of you. It would be amazing to have more of you, but I feel weird admitting that. Like, it makes me a bad person somehow. I also don't know what I would do if I had tons of you. I feel like I would just give it all away because I don't know anything about investing, so I'm probably blocking you from showing up so I don't have to look stupid. So it's just talking about our relationship with money and how money can not necessarily be a negative thing. Okay, so Divya from Celebrity Reads, hi Divya, wants to know, what's a new fave? Do you have any bookish merch and an author you want to read from but still haven't? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna start with bookish merch because I do have some bookish merch, and most of it is from J.K. Turfling, who ruined that, so I don't feel comfortable showing you my house merch right now. But something that is kind of bookish but not really is my dragon egg. So I made this last year when I went to a glass blowing class as part of the art teachers convention. I think I was reading the first Game of Thrones book at the time, and I was obsessed with Game of Thrones, and when I found out I can make an egg, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a dragon egg. I made this glass dragon egg based off of reading Game of Thrones, and it's my favorite color, which is yellow. I love yellow and black and yellow. So I guess I'm gonna count this as bookish merch because it was Game of Thrones inspired. And new fave. I mean, Evelyn, I've been ranting and raving about how I want everyone to read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I guess that's my new fave. Author that I want to read from but still haven't. Caitlin Doughty, who is actually, she has a YouTube series where she was like a Goodreads Choice Award winner either from 2018 or 2019, and that was Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs? And I love watching her channel, so the fact that she has books, I want to read them from her. Okay, Nana asked me a few more questions. So she also said, what's your favorite art form, favorite book cover, and what's your favorite movie? Okay, favorite art form is definitely acrylic painting. Favorite book cover, I really like the cover of The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest because it's so reflective. It's perfect, almost like perfectly reflective. you can see the camera in it. But then I'm also gonna say this special edition copy of Clamp Southside. So Clamp is an all-women's collective of these female manga artists who have been making comic books for decades. Like, they came out with Cardcaptor Sakura, if you know what that is. They created that. They created Wish, Tsubasa Chronicles, all these other things, XXXholic, I think. And this cover is very deceiving because when you open it, all of the beautiful artwork that is inside, this is a collection of artwork from their many stories, and it is completely gorgeous. Like, you would never think by opening it that you would see so much beautiful artwork, and it's just a collection of some of their best artwork. So there's 2 volumes. I only have South Side, I don't have North Side, but I really wish that I had the other one. So that starts with, I think, M to Z. So yeah, really beautiful illustrations, and you couldn't tell that by the cover. So, and then favorite movie. Okay, gotta give 2 answers for this because they're just total opposites, but every time I watch these movies, I'm so happy. Okay, so the first one is The Grand Budapest Hotel. The film, it's really beautifully done. It has a great aesthetic. It's about a concierge and an inheritance and a painting, and I believe it takes place during the Blitzkrieg, and you just gotta watch it. It's really sweet and funny. It is an adult film, so be aware of that. But then also The Matrix. Like, I've watched The Matrix and The Animatrix and all the Matrixes like 100 times. Okay. Ansu from Read with Ansu. Hey Ansu. So Ansu's asking, what types of art do you like the most? Would you explore more styles, and favorite manga or horror book? Okay, so what types of art do I like most? I really love, if I'm like thinking back to art history, I really love Art Nouveau. Alphonse Mucha is one of my favorite artists of all time. Just the delicate lines and the styling. And then favorite manga or horror book. Okay, so my favorite manga of all time is Planets by Makoto Yukimura. It has 2 omnibuses. The anime wasn't so great. Maybe I'll do like another anime versus manga about this, but it's following this young guy in the future. I believe it's like 2075 or 2175 or something like that, and he works as a space garbage man. There's so much debris around Earth that it's causing problems with interplanetary travel, so he works as a space garbage man collecting micro debris. And also there's a colony on the moon, and there's space terrorists, and it's a lot of politics as to actually who owns various planets and who owns the moon. And his dream is to become an astronaut and be on one of the first manned missions to the outer planets. So it's kind of about ambition and coming up from nothing. It's an underdog story. I really enjoyed the politics in this. However, I wish that politics aspect of it was pushed a little bit further or explored a little bit more. We can't talk about horror without talking about Nick Cutter, because The Deep and The Troop scarred me. If you want an author who's gonna mess you up, Nick Cutter is the way to go, because he does a lot of body horror. One of my biggest triggers are harm to small animals and harm to small children, and there is a scene in here where a small child goes missing from the parents, where the parent just turns their back for a second and then their child is gone, has been kidnapped. Just thinking about it gives me shudders. So, and then this one has to do with parasitic worms, and I read this at night. Bad decision, but very good. It's like if you read Lord of the Flies, but on steroids. That's The Troop. Divyam from @DivyamCarey. Hi Divyam. Wants to know, what is a book you'd love to reread in any genre you still haven't explored much? So book that I want to reread for sure is 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. So I don't remember what this book is about. This book was weird. This was my first Haruki Murakami reading, and this is a chunky one. It's huge. I think it's like 1,000 pages. Exploding dogs, erotica, a masseuse, multi-dimensions, romance, mafia, aristocrats, and murder. I don't know, it's just very weird. And that's why I want to reread it, so to see if I can understand I just remember liking it. I don't remember why I liked it though. And any genre you still haven't explored much. I have not explored much historical fiction. That's a genre that I'm still not very comfortable with. Even though the few that I did read, I really enjoyed. Kim from @KimPriestley. Hi Kim wants to know what is your favorite book quote? Okay, I don't know if Stephen King invented this or if it came from someone else, which it probably did. I don't know, but I remember this is a really stupid quote. This is a really dumb quote, but Stephen King, I remember, and I don't even remember which book it was, but he said, when you assume, it makes an ass out of you and me. And I was like, oh! I don't know if that one is my favorite. It was just one that I've used the most often. And then Vicky wants to know one more time, what are 2 characters that you would marry if you could? Okay. If we're talking TV shows, okay. Alright, if we're talking TV shows, it would be Gregory House from House MD. I love House. And then, but if we're talking bookish, I love witty characters. Like, what makes me latch on to a character and like fall in love with them, and then to the point where I'm like, that's my hubby. A trait that really attracts me is wittiness. So I'm gonna have to go back to Tyrion Lannister again. I adore Tyrion for his wittiness. I also, this is gonna freak some people out, but I have a thing for Hannibal Lecter. Don't come for me. We could just never go anywhere by ourselves. We'd always have to have a shop around. Alright you guys, those are all the Q&A questions, but also this video is a giveaway. So the giveaway portion of this video is that this speed drawing is going to be printed and sent to a special someone. If you would like to win a gloss print of this drawing that I've done in the speed drawing portion of this video, then I will be happy to send it to you. If you posted questions to my Twitter post, then I'm automatically including you in the giveaway. And if you would like to win this and didn't get a chance to ask me any questions, then please subscribe to my channel. I will get a notification every time that someone is subscribed. Add a comment on this video below letting me know to add you to the lottery for this drawing. I will be so happy to send this to someone who would appreciate it. I really hope that you enjoyed this speed video, and I really hope that you like this drawing. I thought it would be really sweet to do something bookish related, but but a little bit something more that I think that everyone would really appreciate. I will be announcing the winner of this giveaway during my June wrap-up, which should be up on my channel around July 8th. My social links are in the description below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. I'm so enjoying making videos for you guys, and I hope that you enjoy watching my videos as much as I enjoy making them. Okay guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!